Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Your Spiritual Journey. This is Dr. Bob, and this is the space and the place where we talk about things important to your soul. As always, we ask that you like us, subscribe, and maybe even support us on Patreon. And we would like you to consider coming to Bali with us in June of 2026. If you're interested in that trip, just go to our website, yourspiritualjourneypodcast.com, and click on the tab for Bali, and you can learn all about it. So today's guest is just so fascinating. I've been spending a lot of time with her book. It's called The Aura Color Wheel. And I have to tell you, when it arrived at my house, I couldn't get my hands on it because my wife grabbed it right away. And and she started working with it. And then she was hounding me. I was reading a couple other books. And she said, you've got to look at this book and just tell me what your color is and tell me how you line up in terms of what I think you are, because I think you're a visionary and a teacher, but I'm not sure about that. So I went ahead and spent some time working on that, and sure enough, my wife, as always, was correct. I came out a visionary and a teacher, and my color was daffodil. But we'll get into that in a bit. I want to mention, though, that this book, published by Hay House, provides a system to identify your soul's purpose through your soul aura color. Now, Helen is also an angel channeler, an intuitive painter, and spiritual teacher. Her signature courses, Radiant Aura Activation and Embody Your Light, which are based on this book, the Aura Color Wheel System, got her named a Visionary Educator on MSN.com. She's trained in many spiritual wisdom practices. Her students and clients call her the spiritual jack of all trades. She's a certified crystal healer, third-generation Feng Shui master, yoga and meditation teacher, Ayurveda practitioner, Vedic astrologer, Theta healer, and passionate flamenco dancer. I'm not sure how flamenco dancing fits into all that, but we'll find out. She has extreme knowledge of Western and Vedic astrology, Enneagrams, Numerology, and Feng Shui birth element, and Kua number, human design, and gene keys. Her mission is to help 1 million souls find and live their soul's purposes with joy and fulfillment. I don't know about 1 million souls. That sounds pretty ambitious, but we'll find out. So her new book is available from Hay House Publishing, and she's also the author of Flowing with My Rainbow Chakra Affirmation Deck. So you can connect with Helen at HelenCreatesBeauty.com or auracolorwheel.com. And we'll have all our connection information on our website, yourspiritualjourneypodcast.com. So, Helen, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Audience, this is Helen Ye Plehn. Helen, if you would tell us your spiritual journey from childhood till now, then we'll get into your book, okay?
Definitely. Well, thank you, Bob. That's a great introduction. So just to tie into that, you asked about flamenco dancing. It's just because I remember some of my past lives as a gypsy in southern Spain. So that's through some past life regression meditation that I record that, and it comes back to me. And I just feel like I just am ingrained in that culture. I just want to, pick up something.
Uh-huh.
So that's why that comes into the pieces of the spiritual practice I do. Um, but definitely, yeah. So it's funny. I was born and raised in China. So I wasn't like religious or spiritual in any way. At least, I raised traditionally, goes to school, and my job is to get all A's in my
Yeah.
in my education. So the typical route of, all that. But interesting enough, I remember early on in my age, my father loves nature, and he was a Feng Shui master himself, as well as a traditional Chinese calligrapher and
Uh-huh.
painter. So whenever he goes out to sketch, in the mountains, and we live by a mountain called Bayun Mountain in Guangzhou, so it's pretty big, and we go there every weekend. And I remember that I love swimming in the streams and talk to trees. That's my thing. I love talking to trees, and I find they have so much wisdom. And I tend to talk to elder people, which find it fascinating because I'm a kid. But I always drawn to people who holds wisdom, that I think like they're more experienced than me. I like to listen to their stories, and I'm always around a group of old people playing mahjong. That's where you will find me. So that's how I grow up. I just love that. And I'm just so grateful that my father never squashed that little intuitive gift that I have. And he will actually entertain me and ask, "Oh, what does the tree talk to you today?" So he wouldn't say that, "Oh, that's not existent," and like he doesn't encourage it nor squash it, but it's just like leave my kind of my creativity or my intuitive gift, let it flow. And then of course back to the daily grind, the schooling and all that, I kind of forgotten about that intuitive gift that I had as a child. And growing up in China, the only legitimate profession you can be is like lawyers, dentists, accountant, engineers. You name it, those are the proper jobs.
Uh-huh.
So artist wasn't an option, although my dad was an artist. That was so interesting, but because he knew how hard it is to make it, so that's why he doesn't want me, you probably from his standpoint, he doesn't want my life as hard. So okay, so I went all the way until PhD degree. 2011, at the time I still remember, I almost graduated, got engaged to my current husband. So from the 3D world, my life looked perfect. Like I'm almost become a professor, a stable job, nice husband, all good. But I was in deep anxiety and depression until I really hit a panic attack with an ER visit. That was my wake up call. I'm like, wow, this is really not in alignment with what I'm here to do. So I began to ask three really deep fundamental questions. Who the heck am I? I feel totally lost because I'm meeting everybody's expectations. And I thought that was happiness. That was the code to happiness, right? And then I asked, who am I? Why am I here? How can I be truly happy? With these three questions in mind, at the time I live in Philadelphia, on Main Street, Manayunk. I still remember the town. And there is one of the oldest yoga studio called Yoga on Main there. I just walk up. I don't even know why. I just walk up the stairs, and I said that, well, I will try some yoga. Now, I did yoga before in college, but in a group setting, right? I moved to the US for higher education. So that was like for exercise, but I just feel calmer afterwards. So I'm like, maybe that can help me. So when I walk into the studio, I'm like, oh my gosh, a like a vibration or energy of peace just shower over me. I'm like, wow, okay, I feel comfy here. Let's stay longer. So I begin to talk to the teachers, Shiva Das and Ed Zetlo. They are my first yoga and meditation teachers, and I actually wrote them even in the book. And they encouraged me to try a yoga and meditation teacher training. But it wasn't like for the sake of becoming a teacher at the time. I just want anything that can help me to be insane, to
Yes.
still, function, to heal myself, really. So that was the beginning. I stayed there, and I remember my first meditation. I was crying like a baby with a group of strangers. Like I was crying. I have so much emotion purged out. I don't really know the reason why, but I felt a greater, like a bigger presence, energy was holding me the whole time. And I was home. I call that space is like I'm home. And of course, later on, after my daily meditation, 7 years down the daily meditation. Oh, by the way, after 3 months of my daily meditation, I was off any anxiety and depression medication. Think about that. I was on everything possible at the beginning to just survive, right? 3 months. Because of that first experience was so yummy, I always want to go back there. So I actually do meditation more than I do the asana, like the yoga practice. So I actually meditate every single day. Like it's literally like my breakfast. Think about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't want to miss it. So I always want to go back there. 7 years in 2018, I had my first Kundalini awakening. Now, wow, that was wildly changed my perspective on life, like everything. And I began to perceive aura, up into the spirit realm. And at that time, I finally know that bigger presence was holding me the whole time was Mother Mary and Guan Yin. So, like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, I did not know at the time, and I wasn't raised in religious in any way, so I did not know. And 2018, Kundalini awakening spontaneously completely changed the game. I'm like, okay, wow, this is, unreal. So once that my third eye was wide open, I begin to see the aura, and on the way, along the these 7 years along the way, I changed my professions to a Feng Shui interior designer because I always wanted to do something more creative rather than analytical. Although I still have that muscle, but I really want to do something creative. And then later on become a professional artist. And if you're watching the video, the paintings on the wall, those are all my creations. And I still remember I did a Vedic astrology reading in the yoga studio I was meditating and doing yoga with. And I remember the astrologer never met me. We never met. And he would just tell me exactly what I'm here to do. He said that, Helen, your dharma or your soul's purpose this lifetime is to create. Wow, that dawned on me like light bulbs. I'm like, how will I don't even know, like, remember those three questions I asked? I don't even know why the heck I'm here. And you knew. And from then on, I become an avid student for all spiritual wisdoms that can tell a little bit more about myself. Because I'm like, wow, if the school doesn't tell me what I'm here to do, if my family doesn't tell me what I'm here to do, I have to figure out what the heck I'm here to do. So on a parallel, like a spiritual practice, I'm always studying Asian spiritual wisdom about self-discovery. And I become a certified crystal healer, and I practice Feng Shui. So of course, when my third eye is open, I begin to do more and more energy healing work. And during those energy healing work is where the aura color wheel system was channeled through four really deep channeling or meditative state when I learned Theta healing, because I can try to stay in the Theta brainwave a little bit longer so I can sustain that channeling or the automatic writing state. And that's how the system came about. That's kind of my personal journey to awakening. And also, I finally answered those three questions. Like, I channeled this book around 2022. This it takes about 3 years to get the book published. So it's not a new system. It's been already years, right? And I've been using it on myself and on my students for a few years now. So those three questions is like, who am I? So on a soul level, collectively, we are just light energy. Like we are light, in this soul. We're not just this physical body. And even if this physical body pass away this lifetime, we come back again. So that's why when people ask, wow, Helen, you do so many things, there's so many modalities, why do you do so? It's because I just remember what my soul had learned from the past. Just like writing the book, they ask, is that challenging? How do you discipline yourself? I said, no, because I've been a writer before. I just remember. So I would say that it's just soul remembrance. You just pick that up, okay? So at a soul level, we are light. That's who am I. That's what I really know. That's the truth. A second question that's answered in the book is like, why are you here? Collectively, we're all here to evolve. Like that's the evolution. That's why I call it the soul evolution. What does it mean? It means to embody your gift, to be of service. So you provide value, contribution to the collective. And at the same time, you are here to heal the wound that you haven't resolved from your past life and learning the lessons that incorporating in your daily life. So that way, when you're gone, physical body gone, you are left with a higher light quotient or a little bit more enlightened version of you, so that you come back again to do another round, okay? But that's pretty much why you're here, Although each of us has unique gift, wound, and lessons, but every one of us are doing the same thing. We're just becoming a better version of ourselves. And I always tell people, this is the Helen 5.0 that you're meeting. You won't recognize the Helen 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0. This is the Helen 5.0, okay? This lifetime. So the last question is like, how can we be happy in general? Why do you have this human experience? It's to choose joy. So how do you feel joy? It's whatever you choose, like your choices and your actions and your words are really in alignment with your soul's evolution path. Now, for example, I wasn't joyful, I was in pain because I wasn't embodying my artist soul gift archetype. Just like you, visionary and teacher, right? You're doing the thing that you're supposed to do. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Am I going to be happy? No. So that's the secret to be happy. So this book or this system that I channel really answers my question that I wanted to have an answer for in 2011.
Okay. I just want to back you up a minute before we get into the book.
Yeah.
All right. So you were living on mainland China, correct?
Correct.
In
Yes.
Chengzhou, did you say?
In Guangzhou. So it's a
Guangzhou,
city close
okay.
to Hong Kong. Yeah.
Okay. And then somehow you were able to get a visa to come to the United States to study?
Yeah, I came here with a full scholarship and assistantship. So meaning that my tuitions were paid for, and also I got a stipend on a monthly basis. So basically I was an all A student. So
Okay.
that's why.
Okay.
That's what I was trained for the first half of my life, to become a good student, right?
Right.
And also my father really encouraged me, if I want higher education, like if I want good proper education, I have to come to the US. He is the one that actually motivated me to come.
Okay, so that put you in Philadelphia and Temple University?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Okay. And you went on to get a doctorate?
Yes, I continue my master to a PhD degree, and at the school is in hospitality and tourism management. So my research area is actually more like human sensory design. So like how to use sensory cues to let customers to stay longer at the Disney theme park, for example. The smell, the taste, the sound, the atmosphere. So it's like to research how human behavior, let me put it that way. So it's like a consumer behavior research. So that's what my research area was at the time when I was in my PhD program.
Okay, and that was still in Philadelphia?
Yes,
Okay.
In 2011, before 2011, from 2007, I think, to 2011, that's what I was doing my PhD program and research. But then the last year of my PhD program, I get that panic attack because I was under a lot of pressure to publish or perish.
Yeah. Okay.
At the time, the school has a policy that if you publish 6 academic articles, then you don't have to do an dissertation to graduate your PhD. So I have already published 3. So I have 3 more left. But those 3 more is already on the pipelines because I already present my in the conferences. You already presented the article, and I know that it's just time for it to put on paper. So basically, I'm on the way out to finish my PhD, and then I already begin to interview with different professor, like assistant professor
Uh-huh.
positions in different universities. So from the outside world, I have a great career because that's at least 90 to 100K annual salary to begin with,
Hmm.
at a business school as an assistant professor. And I met my husband actually. He was a professor at Temple University at the time. That's how we met, although
Okay.
in different department. So I was engaged. So and thank God I still with this same husband. But he supported me the whole way. He could tell that I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
At the time, and he is the one brought me to the ER visit. He could tell that I was off, and he was the one actually recommended me to begin reading the Pachopra's books. He said that, all the questions you are asking sounded like something that his mom, I'm sure that that's the soul family. They are my soul family.
Yeah.
Although I never, met him, not by blood. But then he said that, oh, you know what? My mom always liked to read the Pachopra's books. And the questions you ask sounded like it's something that you might be able to find from those books. So that's when I began. And of course, before that, I had no, like, I don't know anything in the spiritual realms. Let me put it that way. And yeah, so scientifically, like, angels does not exist, right? Although that's bullshit. After I tuned in 2018. But if you ask the Helen 4.0, it will tell you no, they don't exist. Okay? But Helen 5.0 now tuning to the truth, tuning to the quantum, and I know what's true. But who knows? Maybe Helen 6.0 will discover something else. We'll see.
Okay. Now your father has been supportive throughout your lifetime. It seems. Uh,
Yes.
has he been able to see you since you emigrated to the United States?
Unfortunately, he passed away
Oh.
actually 2 years before I came to the US. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Although he's a spirit guy, on the other realm, watching over me now. I think I was 19. Before I wanted to come to the US for my undergrad, I actually got accepted by Princeton University, and thinking of coming here. But then he died all of a sudden. It was a shock. So
Yeah.
it's not like a long-term chronic illness. None of us is prepared for that. Because he's passing away, I had to delay because I'm only child. I cannot just leave my mom in
Right.
China.
Sure.
So I went to college in China and came here for my master's and PhD later on. So I stayed basically 4 more years in China, to finish my undergrad, to kind of
Uh-huh.
like settle down my mom. And then when I came to the US, I knew that because my father is the bread earner for the family, and I don't want a lot of financial burden on my mom. So I basically I know the only way I can come to the US is by scholarship and assistantship, which I
Hmm.
did. I basically by studying well, I earned a fellowship, and that's also rely on my south node. So that's the astrology moon nodes. My south node is in Sagittarius, So that's pretty much indicates your soul gift. So one of my gift or my strength that I've learned from the past life is that I'm a really good student. that's something that's something that you can rely on, That's my
Yeah.
strength. If that's what gets me the money, it's that's what gets me the money that my dad really wants me to do, then that's what's going to be the way. So yeah, so that's kind of my story, how I ended up from China to the US.
Okay. That's quite a story. uh,
I know. I just wish he's still here. Actually, I brought his remain now very close to us because I knew that he wanted to come himself. He wanted to visit US, and it's his expectation. He's like, I really had a God sent father. I'm not joking because I was born in the 80s, early 80s, and at
mhm.
that time, girls like in China are not preferred. They all want boys,
Right.
especially fathers. They all want boys. If they know that you're either getting abandoned, I'm not kidding, or like you get abortion. People actually get abortion because of that. But my father loves me, like I absolutely am so grateful that I have such a father. He just loves me and support me of everything that I wanted to learn. I would tell him today I want to learn, piano. Tomorrow I want to learn this. He will bring me using a bicycle, huh? We don't even have a car at the time. A bicycle. He will wheel me there, two wheel. I sit in the back, and he will say that okay. And I still remember the most time we hang out is either in the mountain or in the library. Not library, it's like a bookstore. It's like a huge
Yeah.
bookstore because I like to read. And then I can spend like all day, literally all day there. And he will say that okay, reading is really good, you just go there, and he will bring me everywhere. We don't have Uber at the time. So everything is on two wheels. Um, yeah, I'm still really, really grateful to him. That's why actually on my book, the first page, I dedicated to him, to my father, who had once called me that I was his light.
Yeah.
He told me that, and I still remember that to this day.
Yeah. So because you've been able to do some channeling, and let's see, I guess I sense that you would probably want to connect with your father at this point. So
Yes.
have you done that?
Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay.
many, many times. It's funny because I have vivid dreams about him. Um, he actually came back to me and told me that he had reincarnated. That's a funny thing. He had reincarnated in a person, actually in the US, in a kid called Jack. I still remember that he showed me the scene. And however, Jack has a boating accident. Like he even told me that he had an accident and he passed away again
Oh
as a
my.
young child. I know. He's like, this is the second time. And he told me that he's here to learn his lessons. Like he hasn't finished. He has some learning to learn. That's why, he has to go
Hmm.
through these cycles. And he asked me to not to worry. Um, and I still connect with his spirit. I knew that he has second time incarnated now. I sometimes I check in and see if he's still around, and like after it's been a while that I haven't heard back from him, so I'm thinking that maybe he's like in the human plane doing stuff now, which is good. So
Yeah.
I don't want him to go away so fast and come back to tell me, hey,
Yeah.
I'm in that body and gone again. But it's amazing that I get to connect at that level, and yeah, he actually told me that what had happened to him. But it also feel quite of an inner peace that I know now that I really do not afraid death. That's I really make peace of that because I know that there is not really death at a soul
Hmm.
level because we literally just learning the lessons until we achieve enlightenment. Like Jesus Christ and Buddha walked this path. they achieve enlightenment is because they've learned, they've healed so many wounds, learned so many lessons, and then their aura becomes white. Like at a soul level, if our aura becomes white or golden, that's why they have that white or golden halo around them. It's
Yeah.
because none of the aura layer or none of your chakra has a hole that you need to balance anymore.
Uh-huh.
Every single thing is light and vibration. Okay, so they are the walking examples that have walked this path and become that. So for me, now thinking about death, disease, or accidents and things like that, it's because everything happens for a reason. It's because you need to learn, or you need to basically incorporate that
Uh-huh.
particular lesson until you literally forgive everything, forgive everyone, including yourself, really make that inner peace with yourself. Then you're there, like there was no attachment, to anything. Your cores are completely clear. There was no expectation, no attachment. That's, to be honest, that's a great space to be in. So
Yeah.
once you glimpse the truth, that's it. That's how I will it. The death and rebirth. That's how I see it.
The when I received your book, and I've lived with your book now for, I don't know, I guess 6 weeks, uh, referring to it frequently because your book is as much, I think, a reference book as it is something to read through, because it is so rich and so full of information and things that are useful. Uh, and I know I've already used the meditation that you have in there, uh, and the group that I used it with. I have 2 different spiritual book study groups that I lead, and the group that I used it with just found it wonderful, that meditation that you have in the book. But it's just one of many tools that you offer. And I can't imagine anybody writing a book with so much rich information in it without it being channeled. So I am
Thank you for testifying that.
I am curious as to how that came about, and when you first began to channel things, how intentional was that in the beginning? Or did you just say, oh, this is what's happening, so I'm going to stay tuned to that? And as you said, stay in that theta state as frequently and often as I can to allow all of this to come through. And then the other question is, how did you know you were finished?
Until you become enlightened.
Oh, okay.
The finish point. That's the finish point, right? But those are great questions, actually, Bob. First of all, if you like that meditation absolutely is channeled, and I do that every single day. And if you or your group enjoy it, there is a free meditation download accompanied with the book. If you purchase the book, you can go to the website to
Uh-huh.
download an audio, so that way you can use the audio, for
Yeah.
the group, or when it's a company with it. So basically, when the information comes, it's been years that I'm working with aura and color intimately, because I perform in the past. I perform private sessions of energy healing, using crystal healing,
Mm-hmm.
as well as doing custom crystal grid paintings. Those are crystal grid paintings, and my personal painting, as well as, like, I work with color and light for a consistent period of time
Yeah.
professionally. That's like kind of the basis of the channeling. And then I'm always working on myself on a parallel, like, not professionally, but just like a spiritual growth or development. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I think I was in a group container led by Rebecca Campbell. Because I was really called into like to remember my soul gifts, to
Yeah.
remember that. I think the group container is called your cosmic blueprint. Okay, so they have deep meditation, automatic writing to basically figure out where your soul was and where your soul is heading. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was just called to do that because I always have some kind of training parallel on the side. And then I remember that was the first meditation, I would say that's relevant to this channeling experience is to, I think your soul gift meditation, to remember your soul gift. It's a past life regression. So I was there doing meditation. First of all, the answer is definitely I have no expectation of writing a book,
Yeah.
no a system, like absolutely no intention whatsoever at all. I just want to grow,
Right.
myself. So I was in that meditation, like many meditations I have done before, but this particular meditation feels very strong. I've always have vivid visions during my meditation, like movies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that artist has. That's why I paint from my third eye. And a guy came through. He was wearing like a British clothing. I have many past lives in the British and UK, Scotland, Ireland. That land is very familiar to me. So I can tell if he dressed like that, I know that he's a British gentleman. A pen, like a feather pen. So based on the dress, it looks like a 19th century, 18th, 19th century, and I'm really good at drawing because of my artist training. So whenever I see something, I actually draw it down. It's called automatic drawing instead of automatic writing. Okay. And he came here and said that to me, and then Helen, you are here to write a book about soul evolution. I have no idea what that means, but I pick up that sentence really clearly and loud. He said that I am here to help you write a book on soul evolution. And of course, I had no idea what that means. I just want to look up this guy, like when I draw it out, and Google has such a function called image search. So basically, once you draw something out, I image Google it, and then because how he looks like a scholar, and I put some keywords, okay, and Herbert Spencer came up immediately. It's always the first result. That's the funny thing, if you follow intuition, the first thing you see, okay, that's the guy, that's him, I can recognize
Yeah.
him. And then I check him out. He was the of course in the 19th century philosopher used Charles Darwin's human evolution theory, but applied that on psychology and society. So he used that theory and write, publish, and do a lot on psychology and social evolution. And he said he's here to help me to write about soul evolution. That was the first, the first insight. Now I've always wanted to publish a book, but I thought it was a coffee table book with all my paintings and maybe some poem
Yeah.
on it. Okay, that's what my thought it was. Okay, so that was the first experience. And I kind of like, and I'm not like, I just want to learn more, but I'm not attached to it. Like I'm not like dying to know what exactly is, and every single day I'm do it on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, when it comes, it will come, right? And I remember the second meditation within that group was the cosmic origin meditation. So basically to figure out where you come if you have a star family, like in the outer planets. So, and I have a visual. I still remember that very vividly. It's a turquoise planet because it radiates turquoise of light. And all of a sudden, a crab comes in my vision. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you tune into your intuition, you cannot lie or use your logical brain at all. Whatever comes, you need to say it out immediately. That's how you channel. So I said, and my logical brain is like, what the heck? Like a crab on a rocky planet in the outer space. If you use logical, it doesn't make any logic. Okay. Okay, I do the same thing. I image Google what I drew out. Oh my gosh, the first picture comes out, my whole body has goosebumps. Like I almost cry. And it says the Crab Nebula in the
Uh-huh.
Taurus constellation. And that's the Pleiadian stars. You know, that's the Seven Sisters star sea. That's where that's located. And I remember that that was my home. Like before I dropped down to planet Earth, it's basically a supernova explosion. That's what the remnant right now looks like on the planet. And I literally Google NASA. I want to make sure the image really depict what I see. So, and then I Google, a little bit deeper, what are the Pleiadians do, right? They create, they channel, they write, they share. They are actually the schools for all extra, basically all ETs. If you want to go to schooling, that's where they go. I'm like, no wonder I study all my life. so, so I'm like, okay. So and so you are basically a call to create and to channel. So that's now I know, okay, that's kind of my mission. And the next subsequent meditation that's very close to when the book is being channeled is it's a meditation where I was brought back to the Hathor temples in Dendera, Egypt, Dendera, and I see a zodiac calendar on top of the temple that's spinning. So it shows the original 36 deacons. The Egyptians call it the deacons and represented the 360 days in the
Mm-hmm.
that of a Egyptian calendar. And that's the 36 soul aura color in the book. It's coincide with that. And the next subsequent that happened like after this zodiac calendar, it's not the simplified 12 zodiac we see right nowadays. It's the original one. And then pretty much the next day or two, I immediately got the download. It's like I see people's aura around your soul area, around your heart chakra, because that's where your soul resides. That's your soul
Mm-hmm.
aura. And the stronger aura layer. So if you are, say, if you're visionary, you have stronger third eye and your solar plexus. So the violet and the yellow are vibrant and throbbing, like they are vibrant, radiating. They are like happy, right? And then there is a one of the aura layer that's if it's your wound, you have less of that color. That color is dimmer, weaker, and not as visible as the other thing. And I immediately know, okay, oh no, now this soul is supposed to be here to do this and heal this. And that's when the view, it's just like it's like a movie. That's when the wheel, when the crimson, and when all the lights coming through, and I have to remain in that state. When I got this download, I literally told my husband, "You deal with the 3D stuff. let me focus on my channeling for a little bit. I might be gone for a week or no, or I don't know how long. But well, I still perform daily activities, but during that week or two, interestingly, I sleep a lot, but I really was doing a lot because I have to be in the theta state. I wasn't like really sleep, but I'm just getting a lot of information, and I just write them down without filter, no matter it's a symbol or drawing or
Mm-hmm.
text. And I remember there's at one point I was writing down a bunch of numbers and dates. That was quite scary, like those movies, those kids writing down a bunch of numbers. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going nuts? That was one question in the quiz that you can identify your aura color. And actually, my spirit team is actually trying to figure out where your Chiron sign is. So that's the indication of a person's soul wound. And of course, at the time, I did not know. I have to Google it. Okay, now I have a bunch of dates and times and numbers and what does it mean, right? So I always Google it. And then I figure out, oh wow, that's what that question is trying to figure it out. So even the 20 question quiz, it's completely channel. Like it's not I invented the quiz or based on my experience. It's completely, what's coming through the
Yeah.
higher source. That's what's going through me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just want to try to help, people get this knowledge more accessible if they're not psychic and they cannot see their own aura. So that way you can just take a quiz and get your, the information you need.
Yeah. So speaking of auras, I'm curious to know if you were so tuned into that, when you're walking down a street and looking at strangers, do you see their auras?
Yes, I do. But now I've learned how to shut it on, turn it on, or shut it down.
Okay.
At the beginning, when I just started in 2018, I cannot, because when I just had my third eye open, had my Kundalini awakening, I got freaked out a little bit. And at the time, I was doing my certified crystal healer training. So I immediately message my crystal teacher. Something is going wrong with me. I said, like, I begin to see all kinds of stuff. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be, right? And she immediately tell me that put a black tourmaline on your third eye to calm it down. Like it's too active. Like some black crystals, they're really grounding. Okay, she immediately asked me, put that in, and you need to ground your energy, lie on Mother Earth, basically get to the earth as much as possible to ground. And through practice, it takes me a few weeks to, like probably about 2 months, to kind of train myself. But at the beginning, I got really excited because I would jump up and say, "Hey, you look green today." it's kind of fun, But later on, I understand that with this gift, it's also a responsibility. I'm not supposed to interrupt other people's timeline or their soul lessons and things like that. So if a person does not give me permission, I shouldn't just voluntarily this information unless they are open and receptive.
Right. So that happens in person. Are you able to do it over Zoom with somebody and see their aura? So
I'm able to do it. I actually am able to do it without even without the person being present. But what I need, because I'm clairvoyant, I need a picture of the person being read.
Yeah.
So if that particular person it says yes to the universe, doesn't said to me, says okay that I can tune in, and as long as I have a picture of somebody, I'm able to read it. You don't, that's what I offer online. Actually, I do spirit message readings. All I ask people is to give me a picture of either you, or if your family want a family member to be read, I just need a picture of that. And the whole time when I'm doing the channeling or doing the reading, most of the time I'm closing my eyes, like physical eyes. So whether you're in front of me or you are not, to me, it doesn't really matter. So all I need is I take a pic of you. Okay, now I begin to channel. So what I do is not just an aura reading, because that you can take the quiz and you get all the information you need, to be honest. And I also am able to tune into the spirit realm to see who are your guides. Like are they ancestors, ascended masters, angels, star beings? And based on your spirit guides composition, I can also know your soul's past and future. Because, and actually, by the way, there was no past and future. In the quantum field, it's completely, time is an illusion. There is no time, it's not linear. It's stacked up together. It's the different version of you at the same time. And which version of you embody or you access, it depends on your current vibration. Okay, so what I do reading is that I tune in the field. I see who are your guys hanging around currently. I relay any message they have for you. Like that's something that your soul needs to know right now. And of course, the guys' composition and also the message will change based on, like which version of you are now, right? And like, for example, if I see a soul has like the galactic around her, and she keeps saying that I'm not grounded, I feel like I'm not belonging, I'm like, yeah, because you are in the stars for many lifetimes. So maybe you are labeled as ADHD, maybe you're able as autism, but you know what, and because you don't fit in Mother Earth as much as you do, like the turquoise souls, because turquoise are the ones that walk on mother plant, like they have a lot of animal spirits, they have a lot of plant medicine spirit, that I know that this soul has been on mother earth many many lifetimes. They have no problem with that compared to the soul that has a lot of star beings around them. So it really depends on like it's almost like a country record or soul print reading. I call it
Hmm.
spirit message reading. So it's so besides your aura color, like I can tell, why you feel like the symptoms they will describe is really relevant. So that's why I teach people how to connect with their own spirit team. I call it a team because there's always 5 to 8 like different type of guys working with you simultaneously at the same time.
Hmm.
And that talks about, it's one of the things I talk about in the book, how to have, hone your psychic ability, use the divination tools. At the beginning, if you cannot tune in immediately like me, no problem. There are other divination tools that you can use as a medium to get those message out, right? And the more you practice, the first thing is you have to trust, because I did not trust before. So I thought it's wrong, it's not. First you have to trust, and then you have to open to believe it. And also there's a lot of practice about detachment, because a lot of people really attach to a particular answer or a particular time. They want it now, they want it this,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
If you let go of that, because I have no attachment to anyone that I read, I just spew out the being. You like it or you don't like it, you take it. That's as it is, right? So that's the difference. So if you want to practice connecting and seeing your own aura, you can. I teach a lot of students in my Embody Your Light course how to do that, and they are able to do that. And the goal is like, if you are not a coach or healer or psychic worker, you just want that information for your own soul evolution, that you don't do it professionally, you can benefit from that as well. Because once they have that skill, I always ask them to be mindful, to not use immediately on family members or friends that did not give you permission, because some souls, they are not ready to receive the information you're going to spill out.
Right. Right. So your husband's supportive of your work, you mentioned. Uh,
Yes.
how does he feel about all this? Has he used your services, or does he say that that's your thing and I support you, but I don't need you to do anything for me?
That's pretty much it. Like he's more of a analytical, non-religious or non-woo person. But whenever that I can tell, like when moments of despair or he's down emotionally, because I can tell the energy level.
Sure.
Although he doesn't believe it, okay, nothing like that. But I will play that frequency music that I think he needs, and he accepts it. Like I would play singing bowls, I will play meditation music. Like he doesn't need to meditate with me. I'm not asking you to sit there, but like he will receive the vibration. Like when
Uh-huh.
he's generally a pretty high vibrational person, which is good. But sometimes I can, when I pick that up, I will use my way subtle. Or when I cook dinner, I know exactly what he needs, what type of food he needs, right? But he doesn't need to know the nuts and bolts, according to Ayurveda and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just sip it in our daily life. So that's
Uh-huh.
why I also like the book, how practical it is when I channel it. Like I can use it. Like once I
Right.
have this wisdom, I use it. Like I put a three-legged frog. That's a totem for success on your feng shui direction. I literally put it there. Now he's not against me doing any of these. How I position his desk, office desk, to his success, position. I do all of these, right? But in a
Yeah.
in a subtle way, that he doesn't feel like, oh, I have to believe everything you do so that I can be woo and all that stuff. He thinks it's, of course I know, because I can see energy, I know how it's going. But from his standpoint, it's like I'm just supporting him on a,
Yeah.
like a energetic level.
So
If you
could
would say.
your next book be a cookbook to to
I'm not sure about it.
wouldn't that be great
I
to
don't
have a
plan on
cookbook?
anything
Yeah.
anymore, actually. Because of this experience, I have no personal plan. I would just let the universe give me
Yeah.
whatever the next thing is. Because remember, the plan was a coffee table book with
Right.
images and poems, okay?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I completely let go of my plan. I just say that universe, I'm a clear channel. Whatever you think you want to channel through me, bring it about. So I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, I can tell you my power of intention is pretty good. And I'm going to send that out to the universe because I would love to see a cookbook that can
A cookbook,
recommend
okay.
what to make when your spouse has different moods and needs certain help. And
Okay, okay.
that
That
would be
sounds
very
interesting.
useful for a lot of people.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you pair up with someone who is more spiritual and the other one is more analytical and more 3D. But I see a lot of couple like that actually,
Yeah.
and they complement. They complement each other. It's a stable
Right.
relationship. So it's totally fine. As long as you support each other's growth, no matter, what they become, as long as that's a stable relationship, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be both have to be super spiritual or both have to be analytical. But I know exactly why you are saying that's helpful, because a lot of the things I do practically in the house or on a daily basis, it's literally on the section 3, the Feng Shui, the meditation, the Ayurvedic diet, and also living with nature cycles. So those
Hmm.
are the things I actually am walking the talk. So
Yeah.
I'm doing it daily myself. It's
Yeah.
not like, I go back and reference, okay, now it's what. So I use it myself as well. So
Yeah.
it's good that's why I have a copy. And that way you kind of can map out your evolution journey.
Uh-huh.
As I mentioned, as you so evolve, you learn a particular, lesson, or you heal a particular aura, you can become a different soul gift archetype. So you might have 3 instead of 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
So the more you work on your aura layers, the more soul gift archetype you will embody. Eventually, you're all 9 of them. That's why Jesus can be a healer in 1 second, and a teacher the next second, and a next second a visionary leading a group accomplish a mission.
Hmm.
So that's because once there is no hole, once there is no, no leaking energy, you can become pretty much everything. There is like infinite potential. That's,
Yeah.
if you see the quantum, it's like really infinite potential. You can write a cookbook and maybe do a painting next time, and do a I don't know, like a crystal next time. Like you can do pretty much everything. There is no limit. That's when you like, that's why the self-awareness is so important. And this book gives you the clarity to know, oh, I'm on this path. If I have this physical, mental, emotional, spiritual symptom, that means this particular aura layer needs help, needs more of this energy. And then also the recommendation of what food to eat, and what clothing, even to what color to wear, what
Uh-huh.
crystals to wear. Those are like daily practice. I'm literally wearing my soul aura color right now, tangerine.
Aha. Okay. Well, I feel like I could talk to you for another hour, but
Yeah,
our
understand.
our time is about up. And at the end of each discussion, I always give the guests the opportunity to leave our audience with a few words of wisdom. And you've got lots of them. So, what would you like to say to our audience? What would you like to leave them with?
Yes, just challenge yourself to really deeply embody this sentence. You are light. You are light. You are light. So I ask you to not think about it, but to embody it and see how your body feels when you hear that you are light. So yeah, that's what I want to live with.
Okay. Well, audience, as always, take what you've heard and incorporate it into your life if it resonates with you. And if not, just put it on a shelf until you're ready to deal with it. And until next time,
That's a good suggestion.
this has been your spiritual journey.